Good morning and hello, this is Teresa. Welcome to my channel. And today the title of this video is Let's Make a Faith Journal. That doesn't flow off my tongue very well. I may have to tweak that title. Let's make a faith journal. If you've got any ideas on how I can tweak that title, I'd be happy to hear them. I'm not always very creative in that respect, but I'm working really hard on it. I hope y'all have noticed some changes to like the graphics and that sort of thing, and I'm always interested in hearing feedback on that. So let's go ahead and look at my desktop and we'll get started. I hope everyone is having a happy Sunday. So what an ideal day to start a project like this. Like I said, this is part one, and not, well, as the title says, this is part one. And not only because, let's see, where am I at here? Trying to get the words off of my playback, because that bothers me. All right, so right here I have some ephemera that I was working on, and then I decided, well, let's just turn the camera on. Now for my preference, I will tear quite a bit instead of cut, and it's just easier for me to tear because of my tremors and just my hands, and overall it's just easier for me to tear, and I often prefer that look. Then of course there's some areas where I'm gonna have to get the scissors out and work on that, like here. I did back these. I did something that I have not done before in this respect. So the backing page looks like this, only, you know, it's a full sheet. And I took it and brought it into Canva, and made it big, and then I, what do they call that? I used a filter to fade out the graphic because I didn't want it to be so dark. I wanted it to be a lighter, a more faded image for writing on. All right, that's where I want it. These are both ready for scissors. The kit I'm using is from Carolyn Musings on Etsy. And I have no idea what it's called. So I am going to put in the reviews for Carolyn's Etsy shop for the purchases that I made, that I'm going to be doing a video series working with these graphics. And I'm going to be putting a link to my YouTube channel. So Carolyn, if you decide to take a peek at what I'm doing, you're more than welcome to put in the comments the name of the digitals. When I purchase the digitals myself, I don't work quite as hard to get that information because my viewers can go onto Etsy and they can search for Carolyn Musing, and you know, I would have to search to figure out what kits I used. Sometimes creators will put their name at the bottom, but I print my stuff out borderless. Whoa, that was kind of difficult word to say. And so maybe if she did put her name of the kit on the bottom, it wouldn't show because I print out borderless. Now I have heard on another video just one time so far that the person who was doing the video said that she didn't like to print out borderless because she said it was too hard on the printer. But that's why I bought the printer that I bought, because it would print borderless, because I am lazy and I do not want to cut white edges off the edge. And I know long time ago, not recently, I even watched a YouTuber that said she didn't mind a little tiny bit of white around the edges. Oh no, not in my world. That is a definite no-no. Alright, so now I think I am done with tearing. Oh no, I'm not. I got some more over here. Once I get done with tearing, then I will move on to cutting. Oh yeah, lots more. And most of these are double-sided. I'm gonna have to cut. There's no clear path that I can go without tearing into something I don't want to tear into. Okay, let's see. This one is not going to be backed. So, because it's just going to be a little folded writing spot. Let me know how everybody's doing in the comments. I know I asked, but my videos are live, so you can chat at me if you'd like. This is practically a new mat, and it got a stupid bump in it, and it's kind of driving me nuts, which is not a very far drive. How did they say that? Well, that's not a far trip. Don't worry, I'm not going to quit my day job for my comedy routine. One of the things that I like about Carolyn's graphics for the whale tail tab is that she appears to use a real whale tail tab. Need to cut a little bit more of that off to create her whale tail tabs, which, you know, like some they're just fake whale tail tabs. But this fits pretty good if I could hold still long enough to line it up. It fits halfway decently. It's not bad. I'm okay with inking that enough to hide the white. So I wanted to mention that because I was impressed with that. Now, I am not going to sit here and tear all of this ephemera on this video, because that would be boring. But I thought that I would do a little bit more of prep work than I usually do in my videos, because some people do all the prep work, or they you know, turn their videos on and off. Well, I only do live videos, so I can't do that. That'll be interesting if I have a circle that is that small. Definitely not that one. Maybe. Looks a... Oh. That actually is a little big. Okay, this is a 1 inch. And this one that I thought, this is a 3/4 inch. This should work. No? So it must be some weird size between 1 inch and 3/4 inch, which I only have, you know, every quarter or half or something like that. Well, bummer. Okay, those are ready to cut. Those are little teeny tiny things. I'll probably end up backing those actually. All right, let's get some of this paper off of here. Oh, that would be a good strip. I always have to have them short enough to fit in my box. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do? Oh, I wanted to do this one. Got my thumb in the way on that last tear. Thought I was going to ruin my piece of ephemera. Fortunately, I didn't. Okay, let's do some cutting now that we've done some tearing. Now, these are envelopes, so I don't back my envelopes. I like to use the long shears for long straight, and then I still don't get it right. See what I mean about how it's easier for me to tear? So my videos are good for folks that need accommodations when they're crafting, because some of us have issues with shakiness. I know there's another gal by the name of Bitsy that talks about having shakiness, and then some of us have arthritis or weak hands. I know sometimes if I'm not careful how I hold my thumb, it will kind of lock into place, so I have to be careful of that. So does anybody have issues like that, and do you talk about them? Do you have a YouTube channel where you talk about them? Because I think it's really great that we support each other in these things. I'm not a complainer, but I am happy to explain what's going on, because I really can't stand it when somebody says, "Oh, you don't have to be nervous." I'm not nervous. This has been going on all my life pretty much. Well, when I was in high school, part of it was this and part of it was being nervous. Or when I'm mad, I'll shake too. Because those are all like nervous system type things, I think. And so that's why they this will be exacerbated. I love trying to say that word and sounding stupid when I do. By not eating But I did have a bowl of cereal this morning, so I behaved in that respect. I usually skip breakfast, the most important meal of the day. I'm excited. I have some more fun stuff coming from Italy. Ah! That happens sometimes when I get lazy and just tear. I tore a little, can't see it though. And then I also decided that I can't live without wallpaper scraps. I have a very small amount, and they're more like fabric wallpaper scraps, and they're currently in hoard mode. So I have started to try to use some, but you know what it's like when things go into hoard mode and you just can't bear to cut into them or put them in a journal. Because most of my journals that I make, I put up for sale. So what I do is I finish making them, and then I put them in a Ziploc baggie, and then I put them in storage. See if I keep from carrying that ton. So like, I finished 2 journals this weekend. This is my planner, and that was inspired by Tracy Fox. So I used Tracy Fox planner kit for this one, and it's a spiral bound. So I used cinch for the first time to make this one. And then these are 2 folios, I guess is a good way to, they're more like ephemera, maybe ephemera folio holders. But anyways, all the extra ephemeras in here, some of it is pre-made ephemera, and some of it is extra bits and bobs. So this will go into a gallon size Ziploc bag and go into storage. They both were listed on Ko-fi last night, and this one will go into a gallon size storage bag and go in storage. So then I just have a shelf with journals that I've made that are for sale, along with I have new journal starter kits. Hi GD, nice to see you again. And that are listed in my Ko-fi shop, because I don't have room for this stuff here in the travel trailer in our 5th wheel. So most of my journals that I make, I put them up for sale. I have only sold 1 planner so far, but hey, that was my first. It was very exciting for me, and I think it will probably happen again someday. Have the right person come along. I mean, I can tell from other YouTube videos that there are a lot of people out there that like to buy journals, so I just have to find someone who would like to buy mine. And the thing with me is that I'm perfectly fine if somebody buys one of my journals and repurposes it or takes it completely apart for this stuff, like the Italian papers and that sort of thing. I've repurposed my own journals plenty of times, so I had a lot of fun making it, let me tell you. So if somebody wants to just use the pieces to have a lot of fun making their own thing, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I would hope that folks would share with me what they do. Ah, hold still, Teresa. So sometimes if you hold it just right, you can get the leverage that you need. It's all about leverage, I think. Now, I don't think I have a punch that is that big. So hold your breath. I'm going to have to cut this one. Maybe I should use the smaller. Sometimes if I just slow down, that will help. Slow and steady wins the race. One thing you may notice about me from watching my videos is that I like to destroy old-fashioned sayings, because I often don't remember them the exact way that they were said. Okay, there's that one. So those are just going to be folded, and I'm not going to try and cut another one out because I want to get to backing things, because usually, like I said, I don't do this type of prep work, but for this video I decided that I would a little bit. We're 21 minutes into the video. A little bit, because I don't do it, and a lot of other YouTubers do it, and they must do it for a reason, which is probably because people want to see how to prepare things. So I'm looking for, okay, I'll use this. So I did print some of the background sheets. Let me just show you some of this too before you get bored of this video, because maybe I'm doing too much prep work. Okay, so let's just show you some of these sheets. Of some of the stuff that's in her kits. And if anybody wants to know specifically what it is, you can let me know in the comments, along with the, you know, marker, like it'll say 12:3 or something like that. How does it do that? Like 4:38 kind of thing. So, and then I can go look and figure out what it is you're asking about. So this is a backing sheet. This is from a collage kit. I think it's called Bible Collage. And then this is from, I think this is KJV Bible something. Not the background sheet. And this is another collage sheet. And this is a background sheet from that KJV kit, I think. Don't hold me to it. Another collage sheet. Thought this was cute. A love letter from God to you. I think that is awesome. This is a great background sheet. And then I have a bunch of these. There were lots of these. And then I didn't use the background sheet for all of them. I used different background sheets. So I've got like 4 of these with the pink flower. Actually 5. There's the brown background sheet. And then I've got 3 of these, because I could only find 3, because I'm going to have 4 signatures. This is a great background. I love how muted that is. This came from the Christmas planner kit that I bought, because I'm going to be doing that for the Christmas in July challenge. Collaboration, I guess is what it's called. There's a lined background sheet. And then I have what's called Bible pages. That's a separate kit. And then I have 4 of these colored flowers. And that's a collage sheet. Collage sheet. I thought this would look great on the back of here with this colored flower. So love it when I feel like kits, you know, are versatile to share with each other. Oops, missed that one. Missed that one. This is an ephemera kit from something. I don't remember what. Then I just put a collage sheet on the back because I didn't need it for the pockets, but I wanted it for these, which I really don't want it for these because they would need to be backed because they're so small. Yeah, I really didn't need to do that. But this one, I wanted a backing for this and for this because I'll cut this out as one piece and fold it. I would like this bigger. I may see if I can do that. See if I could make that bigger without, what would that be called? Like, without, oh, I can't. Makes me mad when I can't remember my words. I keep thinking skewing it, but skew is not the word. Distort, without distorting it. Oh, I'm so happy I thought of my word. This, wasn't really crazy about this pink going with this kit, but oh well. I really like this background page. So I just have this one for backing. I'm thinking about using, I'm thinking that we're almost out of Honey Nut Cheerios. So he's gonna go buy some Honey Nut Cheerios when he feels better, my husband. He went riding yesterday on his quad and he biffed it. And he's hurting today. So we gotta maybe get some muscle relaxer into him and keep him down so that he can, you know what? This is actually supposed to go on the back of here. I just realized that. So these are gonna have to be cut down as far as they will go so I can line them up. So nice to be settled back in, have my craft room pretty much set up to the way I want it, and be able to get my work done during the week and my crafting done as I have time available, and it's just great. Like I said in yesterday's video, I've temporarily given up on the mic thing. Like I said, I bought one and it didn't work. I couldn't figure it out. Like I said, 1 for technology, 0 for Teresa. So I sent it back for a refund, and I'm just not in the mood to try again here real soon. I spent a lot of time researching. I got the mindset that, hey, I would spend a little bit more than 30 bucks, you know, to try and make sure that I got a decent mic, and I talked myself into it and got it ordered and waited for it to deliver, was excited about the prospect, and then it was just stupid. All the pictures showed a charging station and said that when you take it out of the charging station, voila, it's charged already. But if you need to charge it, you just put it in the charging station. Well, there was no charging station, and there are 50 million different little cords, and ended up, I was supposed to buy a separate cord, and I'm calling something like this a cord, so that it would hook up to my iPhone, because I use my iPhone as a camera. Bought that separately, and I forgot to return that, but it was only $9, so maybe I might need it for the next try when I try this again. So I decided not to return that. They should be the same size, and they are not. Okay, so what that means is not a problem. We can figure that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, just curious here, oh, absolutely not. Okay, we're going to take a piece of, well, what I have handy is ledger paper. So, just going to grab a piece of ledger paper, see what that would look like in the background. Timmy's throwing things all over the place. Let's see what that will look like. I think that will be okay. Okay, so we're going to take this and think. I think that I need to ink this first. Anticipating the logistics of things is a challenge for me with junk journaling. Like, oh gosh, I wish I would have put some lace under the layers for a tie, for a closure. Oh, too late now. Those kind of things. So that's one of the reasons why I automatically back papers. Oh, my tummy's grumbling. Because, you know, then I don't have one of those moments like, oh gosh, I wish I would have backed this with another digital before I started cutting it. Of course, that would have been ideal for this too. Then I wouldn't have to put another piece of paper there. See what I mean? I should have backed this one with another digital, because this is going to be plenty thick with two pieces, because I use a somewhat heavy copy paper. I think it's like 32 pounds. I haven't thought of it for a long time, so I'm not sure. I used to know. How about you guys? Do you ever run into those types of situations? And by golly, that's actually another accommodation for us folks who don't remember things as well as we would like to remember them at times. think this was the bigger piece, right? Yes, so we can tear to this piece. I didn't do a good job of getting glue on there. It's a brand new stick, so needs a little conditioning. Excuse me. I personally love the sound of tearing. How about you? Alrighty, now, did I ink this one yet? I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, it looks like I did. Okay, that's the right side up. Where's my glue book? Tell you, somebody who amazes me is Rachel from Roxy's Creations. I'll be watching her and she'll be doing something like this, and then she goes and puts it down without checking to make sure that she's not gluing upside down. And even though I watch her like a hawk when she's doing her thing, I'm like, oh, are you sure that's the right side? And sure enough, she I don't ever recall her gluing it upside down. I'm sure she does once in a while, but me, I gotta check and double check. Not as centered as I would have liked it to be, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my rounded corners in. It might be too wet. I better wait. Belay that. Okay, so there was one example of backing. What else do we got that we want to back? Not that. Let's just go ahead and cut that out and get it out of the way. When I first started doing this, I was using, let's see, I started off with soft suede, I think it was, from Stampin' Up to do my inking. And then I started using Early Espresso, which is a darker brown. And then I started doing, there was a new brown that came out that was called Pecan something from Stampin' Up. And then I felt like folks that used these distress oxide inks didn't have to work as hard with inking, so I bought some oxide inks. some of these distress oxide inks. And so my go-to now has been Vintage Photo. I'm trying to remember the person's name that does the, you know, YouTube videos for Carolyn Muslings. I don't know how to say her last name. Anyways, hold still, Teresa. She is Australian and has a very nice voice. I tend to enjoy people who have European voices on YouTube. I don't know why that is, but I just find it to be more pleasant. There's some that don't have European voices that I enjoy as well, like Darcy with Darcy's Misadventures. She's just funny. But Carol Laws, she's European. I enjoy listening to her, but she's got great stories. Oh my goodness, they are so fun. Love hearing her stories when she's creating. Well, that didn't work. Let's try a different way. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. I'm not sure that I have used my, oh, I think I see it. My scoreboard since we got to this area. I think this is the first time I've used it, but I found it. Anyways, who else do I enjoy listening to? Sometimes it's not that I enjoy listening so much as I enjoy their skill. Now, I would say that I'm not going to be on the list of YouTubers that folks enjoy listening to. I've personally never really liked my voice that much, but it's what I'm stuck with. Maybe if I cut this out, I'll be able to see where I need to score at more easily. Now, if folks think that I don't explain or teach enough in my videos about what I'm doing, I do that because I don't like it. Thing is, I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator for years, and I learned how to look at a layout and figure out how things were layered. Now, once in a while, I did have to go to a tutorial or watch a video and find out how they layered a certain thing, but for the most part, I could visualize it. So I think that is a negative for me, because it makes me not want to like say, okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a straight line. Boring. Okay. Or now I'm going to put this over here. I swear some of them are that bad. Just drives me kind of nuts. So These bumblebee scissors are some of the first scissors that I bought. I was using my Stampin' Up snips, and my Stampin' Up snips are really good, but oh my gosh, these bumblebee scissors are awesome. I love them. They were a good buy. And then I was like, oh, I've got enough scissors. I don't need to buy a pair of Tim Holtz scissors. Now, I have not come up with a reason why I need the smaller pair, but a long shaft on your scissors, yeah. For somebody like me especially. And I do need another pair that is a long shaft for fabric. My Fiskars right here, they work awesome for fabric. I love these. And they're starting to get a little grody. Every once in a while I'll take a wipe to them. Because I don't like seeing dirty tools on YouTube videos. Personal preference, not a criticism. Personal preference. Because that's just me. Look, you get all that stuff from your hands right here. Glues and whatever, inks. And I just like seeing my tools clean. So yeah, love having a wipe close by to be able to do that sort of thing. Here we go. This is going to be fun. Took me a long time, and I'm still battling it to try and remember to use this hand to move my paper, and then this hand relatively still to cut. I think that there's not too much white on the edges. Let's take a look at that. Now another trick for inking is, let me take this piece of scrap paper here, is I learned this from Corey. What's Corey's last name? Dahmer? Anyways, I learned to make an inking board sometimes. I haven't done it very much until just last night. I was inking some little small things, and I was like, oh, I need an inking board for that. But it just helps to not bend your paper. Now, I don't always ink. If I'm working with a lot of original ephemera, I don't ink. Sometimes I will not ink the original ephemera and ink the digitals. Just depends on what mood I'm in. I don't want to be predictable. I don't want to be too predictable, because I just told you how to predict me. So, but when I'm in the mood to not ink at all, you may not be able to predict that. Okay, I hope you just followed my line of conversation there. It's kind of weird. Okay. This is going to be a challenge to fold. I'm easily challenged. This is my bone folder from Stampin' Up. I have a couple extras of this if anybody would like me to list them in my Ko-fi shop for sale. Let me know what a good price would be, what you think a good price would be, and I will definitely seriously consider listing those. No sense in them just sitting around in a drawer. Love my Stampin' Up bone folder. Looks good. Nothing better than a square envelope or rectangular envelope. Mine are like angled on the sides that I tried to create from scratch. So there's a fun envelope, and I am going to do more of like taking fussy cuts like this and putting it on there to hold that shut for all of my envelopes. I just really like that idea. Okay, we're at 52 minutes. So I think you got the gist of where I'm going with this. I've got a lot more ephemera to prepare, and I already have thoughts on, well, I'm going to be doing the Christmas. It would be like a faith journal. Well, a Christmas faith planner, because it's a planner. So I've already got plans for doing that in July. But in the meantime, I may do another one. I don't know, after this one or alongside this one. I think I'll go faster on this than my other two previous projects, because I've got my setup, I've got a lot of great materials. I even came up with a plan, and that is, oh, I got some Stampin' Up for sale stuff underneath the desk that is in my way. Okay. So I have this big box, and I came up with the idea before we came back to Idaho that I would put all my, am I going to hit the camera? I would put all my laces in here. Well, that's nice. That's nice and tidy and organized, but guess what? It's not productive. It's not an easy way to use them. So I was thinking that I would take them all out, make sure everything is on ribbon or lace cards. And now this one has, you know, all these slots for these containers. And yeah, I did break it up by some colors or something. Not really. I'm lying. I got it broken up by, what is that called? Mito string or something like that. Yeah, I've got it broken up a little bit, but anyways, I don't know if my idea is going to work. Maybe I should just be, and I need to redo this. Whoops, that was very noisy. Sorry. I won't do the other one. But I was thinking about taking one of, taking like one of these. Like this one right now has my language of flowers leftovers. I can't get the whole, yeah, I can. So those will need to go in, let's see. Those will need to move into here, which is where I keep my digital kits. So I've got a nice empty spot right there. And so then I was thinking, when this is empty, I could put the laces in there. You know, just line them up like that. And then I could take the lid off. The lid could go underneath there. It would sit somewhat okay on my desk. And then I could see all my laces, because now I even have more laces than what's in that box. And I could put my laces and my trims all in here. And I think that would make, would facilitate me using those a lot easier. I also decided, because I was like, oh man, I wished I could have some color coordinated laces. Because, you know, I do have a lot of different colors, but not like, you know, what if I wanted this color? I call this Coastal Cabana because it looks like the Coastal Cabana Stampin' Up color. So I was like, oh, I could take lace and color it like I used to with ribbon when I was doing card making. So that's something I'm going to give a try. Lots of ideas going on here as usual. I go to sleep thinking about this stuff. Okay, we're almost at the hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for visiting me on my channel. If you would be so kind to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Again, I always tell people you just don't know how happy that makes me. And it releases endorphins, you know. I think you know what I'm talking about. So all of these are going to be folded in half for the journal, and there will be 4 signatures. Like some of these I might fold them this way, and for now I'm just going to fold them, and I can always refold them the other way if I decide that I need to. Now when I made the Language of Flowers journal, see, I said I was going to quit, and then I started talking again. Sorry. I just heard Darcy say, not sorry. That's so funny. I think I'm watching too many of your videos, Darcy. But anyways, that really distracted me. Yeah, now I forget what I was going to say. So it is time to wrap this up. Okay, we'll talk more about this in the next video.